Hello, my name is Heather Davis. I selected autism spectrum disorder as my designated topic for this week. I chose this topic because my brother is diagnosed with autism, and I always find it intriguing to learn more about his diagnosis. For my first resource, it is an article about autism by Meng Chuan Lai and Michael V. Lombardo. It states that autism is a set of heterogeneous neurodevelopmental conditions that are usually characterized by early onset difficulty in social communications. There are also repetitive and unusual behavior or interests that are seen in this diagnosis. The article also states that autism is primarily diagnosed more in boys than it is young girls. After finding that information, I was intrigued as to why that is. I searched up some more information and I found this resource, Spectrum News, and it states that researchers have discovered that many young girls actually tend to mask their signs of autism, whether they're doing it on purpose or unintentionally. This could explain why boys are 3 to 4 times more likely to be diagnosed with autism versus younger girls. Women from an early age are always taught to don't do this, don't do that, act ladylike. So we are all aware that women from a young age are held to expectations that younger boys are not. This idea could potentially change the way we screen autism for young females, because we are always taught to consider cultural factors, and I hate to say it, but we live in a patriarchal society, and that is something that definitely needs to be factored in when we are assessing young females. Continuing off of the first autism article, individuals with autism usually have atypical cognitive profiles. This can be seen in impaired social cognition, social perception, difficulty with executive function, as well as atypical information processing. The article also states that medicine can help reduce comorbid symptoms, but it does not directly improve the social communications issues that the person may be having. The creation of a supportive and nurturing environment for the individual is vital over medicine. We should not be using medicine as the first approach to try and help the student with their disability. I have actually seen this happen firsthand with medicine not working with individuals with autism. As I stated that my brother, he has autism, and I remember when we growing up, my brother, he would constantly have these not tantrums, these meltdowns, and it was so focused on the meltdown and not the why. Why is he having the meltdown? When we started focusing on why and not the meltdown itself, we could definitely see a difference in how he came out of his meltdown and how we could help him in his future incidences where this may happen again. The information stated in this autism article is useful to better understanding what autism actually is. I really appreciated the aspect of how medication should not be used to cure the symptoms of autism, but that a creation of a supportive and nurturing environment should be the main goal instead. The autistic spectrum refers to the various traits that they experience and how much or how little they experience them. Each of the traits affect people differently, and each will need different levels of support. One valuable resource for information is our adult autistic community. According to Jenna, an autistic content creator, autism is a spectrum, but a lot of people tend to look at the spectrum as a straight line, going from less autistic to more autistic. Instead of using a straight line to describe people's experience of autism, we should use a continuum. Each autistic person falls somewhere different on the continuum. Each of the traits affect people differently, and each person will need different amounts of support. This is particularly important to understand in the educational field because we must understand how autism interacts with our students, and we need to be able to meet a student where they're at. One thing that I like that this spectrum does that the other spectrum does not, it really encapsulates just how unique and different every autistic individual is. As we are nearing end to the video, I would like to clarify that autism is a neurological disorder, not an intellectual disability, although there can be intellectual disabilities that coexist with autism. Growing up myself, I was constantly confused about what autism actually was, because I always knew my brother had autism, but I never really understood that he also had an intellectual disability coexisting with it. So I personally thought that the intellectual disability was autism itself, but it is not. It is a neurological disorder. Like I said, I always find it very intriguing to learn about autism, so I'm very grateful that we were able to choose which disability we chose to research about. I am excited to hear any feedback on my video topic, and I am also intrigued to learn more about the disabilities that y'all have decided to research on. I will leave the website, both of the websites, and the content creator's video linked down below. Thank you again.